should mute it.
I've already started. I am live, right? Thank you for joining me in the studio. Let's talk about Ademola Lukman, the winner of the CAF 2024 Footballer of the Year, and how he made Nigeria proud by the appearance that he made on that day when he went to receive his award. And with me, I have Shreya in the studio. I'm going to bring him in now. Yeah, thank you, Shreya, for joining me.
Welcome. Good
Yeah.
afternoon, madam.
Yeah, we're all excited about the way Ademola Lukman went, and he made us proud by standing strong in his roots. And that is something that we want to encourage, because a lot of us have been taken so far away from our culture that we even begin to take on other people's culture, and we actually feel proud doing that. But we have Ademola Lukman setting the pace as well as other people, but right now he is the one that's trending. Let's talk about that. I want you to please share with us what's so special about what he did and how we can emulate that. And in fact, what is the importance of what he did?
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Success. They say success is he has many children. So when you are successful, you attract a lot of things. Failure is an orphan. It doesn't have any relatives. When you fail, you're on your own. Now, when you are succeeding, you have many people that want to get themselves attached to you. Ademola Lukman, we are talking of Ademola Lukman today, basically because of his achievements. Number one is a young man of 27 years old,
Oh dear, oh dear.
still very much young. But then when you consider that age in football, you know that, okay, he's getting basically to the half of his career's
Your
age.
connection.
Okay, can you hear me? Is it clear
Mine, I
now?
think it's mine.
Okay, all right. But I can hear you perfectly. So I was talking about Ademola Lukman.
Okay,
I was
we're good.
saying, okay, I was saying that success is the father of many nations. He has a lot of things attracted to success. And it doesn't just come like that, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. You understand? When you're successful, there's a particular way you do things, there's a particular way you talk, you're a pace setter. And then Ademola Lukman has done something wonderful. Let's start with his age. Like I've said earlier, he's just 27 years old. And then when you consider that age in football, meaning it's half of his football career age, that's number one. He was born in England. So, if you're born in England, you are a British person. But the truth of the matter is you are not an English person. You're British. So, but he was smart enough to know his roots. He's a Nigerian, and I give kudos to his parents. When you're born in diaspora and the parents have been able to instill the consciousness of your roots into you, I mean, that's a big deal. You can tell with their parents because he got his award, and then on the night of his award, he came out with full regalia representing the typical Yoruba man that he is. Of course, he got his beads on, his cap. His cap was shielded to the right angle. You see, when you tilt your cap to the right angle in Yoruba land, it means that you are unmarried. That
Mm.
yes, that means you are a bachelor, a good bachelor, so available. If it's to the left side, it means you are married and taken. That does not mean that you can be a polygamist in Yoruba setting. Don't forget that part. So if you have it to the left, and you now see that man that his cap is to the left, still call it babe. Don't say adiwa. No, no. So,
Okay, you're teaching us.
so that's that. So, like I was saying about Ademola, his name is Ademola Alade Iyiola Lukman. If you look at the list of his name, he has like 6 or 7. That's a typical African name. They can never name you one name, two names like Oyinbos. They will just give you, okay, you have a first name, you have your maiden name, then you have your surname, you are good to go. No, in Yoruba land or in African settings, your one of your aunties will give you, your grandpa, your granny will
All right.
give you, your neighbor, Even your landlord, so to say, will give you a name, and then you'll be confused by the time somebody is calling you, Tosin, another calling you, say, Oba, you're like, growing up, you just say, you'll be asking your mom, Mommy, which one is actually my name? They're like, no need here. Everything is yours. So he was given like that. I don't know if you know one Israel is a fighter too, a Yoruba, a Nigerian, let's not say Yoruba, a Nigerian um, martial arts. His name is Israel Adesanya. When he won the tournament, what he did that caused the internet sensation was that right in the ring, the parent came out to celebrate it with him, and then he prostrated flat in the ring to greet the mom and the dad. And it was like, wow, everybody was
That's
wowed, and
beautiful.
then yeah, it was a very beautiful sight. And
Yeah.
then when you do that, when you, like I've said before, a place of fame comes with so many authority. You're a pace
Mm-hmm.
setter. So when he did that, he was sending signals to every other person that don't forget your roots, and they don't disrespect your parents. Your parents is your parents, all those things, which he did beautifully. But today, like I said, we're talking about Ademola Lukman. He has played for England growing up. He played under 19, he played under
No,
20, and he
don't
played
even
for under.
skip. Can we go back a
What?
bit to what you just said? Let's go back a bit to what you just said
Okay.
fame
Okay.
being everybody wanting to associate with fame. So this is one
Okay.
of the things that we can begin to understand, like using your position as someone who is in the spotlight and everybody,
Okay.
yeah, and
Well,
everybody, yeah. So you use that opportunity to influence positive things, right? Because you're in a position where you can actually have a lot of influence. So if we're not
of
conscious
course,
of that,
of
you'll
course,
either waste the opportunity or misuse the opportunity.
exactly. Exactly. So, and then that's what we could know. That's what is known as power dynamics. You understand? Power dynamics, how you share power, and then how you share your own position, how you use your own position of influence. I can tell you categorically that we have Nigerians playing for other countries more than Nigerians, and more than any other country. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You have more Nigerians playing for other countries more than any other country playing for other
Mm.
country, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, but that does not mean they are not Nigerians. And that does not, but the truth of this matter is this. We love the fact that he came home, coming home now, he was able to attain what he would never have dreamt of. That's number one. Number two, the place of achievement. He wouldn't have achieved it if he didn't play for Nigeria. He has actually played for England when he was younger, but when it was time for him, in fact, there's a tweet and a Facebook record reference that came out when FIFA his approved him to play for Nigeria. He was happy. He wrote it on Facebook, on his Facebook account, on his social media that, oh, I can't wait to join my dear country. I'm lucky I've been cleared by FIFA so that I can play for Nigeria. So he was lucky and he was happy. That shows that he was happy to come and play. And then he was a fine gentleman. He has this sportsmanship spirit in him. But beyond that, he did two things that was very, very germane that day. Number one, his appearance, like I've said before, he put on his beautiful agbada aron. I know the parents must have influenced the choice of the agbada, and then they make it. In fact, when he was walking in it, I was just laughing. Look at this dude. And then with this, I think he was putting on like 4 beads. He has beads in his hand too, and then it was perfect. It was a glorious appearance. I love that fact. And then another thing that he did was when he wanted to start his speech, he started with the Yoruba language, greeting us, acknowledging us, and thanking everybody in Yoruba. And while he was talking, my son was like, why is he speaking Yoruba like that? And I looked at him and said, that's exactly how you sound. And I was trying to teach you Yoruba.
Okay.
So to him, it was like, I said he was born there. Now he now said, okay, yeah. So, we work with intonation. Yoruba language. There's nobody that can speak our language if you are not spending time to study it. We will pick it up. In fact, by the time you say one or two lines, we'll be like,
Of course. Of course.
This is not parable because it's all about intonation, sounds, and vibes, and so many. So he did that. Number one, by appearing in his cultural attire in our Yoruba style. Number two, by speaking the language. It was a beautiful thing to behold. So that was it was a good signal to the ones that feel, there's this thing. I won't blame so many people that don't understand Africa. You will blame the media. Till tomorrow, the media, when I mean the media, I'm talking about not the social media now, I'm talking about the main media, the telecommunications.
Okay, this shouldn't be happening. We're frozen. Frozen from your end. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Uh, okay. Hopefully he'll be able to reconnect soon and we can continue. Let me try and reach him on the phone. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. So that's the thing we're talking about. So this is I'm speaking with someone from Nigeria, and it looks like he's been bounced off of his connection because I can't even get through on the phone. This keeps happening when you're speaking with, oh dear. Not good, not good, not good. Hmm. Okay, so apparently I cannot connect back. How am I even sure? I don't think this is from my end, right? This is an important conversation to me. Anyone who's been following, if you've noticed, you can see that I'm getting deeper and deeper into encouraging us to get back to embracing our culture because I have come to understand a lot of the issues that we're facing are because of our alienation from our culture. Some of my peers and even some people older than me do not recognize this, don't understand it. And as much as I know it now, I am going to be flying that flag because we have to understand what is happening to us and what has happened to us as a people. Not saying that we haven't derived a lot of benefits or advantages from welcoming other cultures and from learning positive things from other cultures. But the truth is that when you're disconnected from your roots, you will find yourself floundering. And that is what I know is happening with us as a people. Because if you want to look at Africa, a place, a land that is flowing with milk and honey, and you can see how it looks like you have so much, and yet you're like you don't have what you have. There is a reason. And the reason, one of the biggest reasons, the main reason is really this disconnection from our roots and from not fully understanding ourselves. And that is because we were alienated. And for people of my generation and even older, and in fact, as far back as our parents, we missed a lot of information. And two things can exist at the same time, right? There's a lot of good in our culture, and there's a lot of good that we've learned. But that doesn't mean that we throw away. Yeah, okay, I think he's back. I think he's getting back. Give me a moment if you're there. Hello? Okay. All right. Who is this? Somebody? Okay, so you're coming in now, right? All right, see you. Man of God, please prophesy to me, sir. Who is saying that? We're not discussing anything like that here. We will have that time. We will have such a conversation soon. Let me go and see. Who is his identifying as man of God? Looking for a prophecy. Okay, hold on. We'll see if there's any prophecy that will come out of this one. All right. So maybe you are the one. Remember when I was saying, you remember when I was calling you man of God? Was it not yesterday I called you man of God? Somebody left a comment here. He said, man of God, please prophesy to me, sir. So maybe they're seeing something, eh?
He said, prophesy to what?
So someone left a comment here saying, man of God, please prophesy to me, sir. So they're seeing it.
Oh, oh, oh,
Right.
oh.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that break that they did to you because you. So let's go back to where we were.
Yes, it was from my side. I'm sorry about that. So, like I
I
was
know.
saying, I think I was talking about the contemporary media, that the role that they are playing in the diaspora. So they are, you say, okay, yeah, if you're meeting somebody, take for instance now, you meet somebody on the streets, maybe you meet somebody in the street of London, for instance, and the person is talking to, hey, hi, you're fine, yeah. Oh, you're from Africa? Say, yes. Oh, I have a friend from Malawi. Do you know him? Then you look at him. What did you say? Yes, I'm from Nigeria. Say, yes, I haven't had from one in Uganda. Is he your friend? That's to tell you that their perception, they even view Africa as a country. It's funny,
Mm-hmm.
not as a
Mm-hmm.
continent. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even know that it's bigger than their island, and so to say. So back to what I was saying. I said the
Yeah.
media has not been helping. The media has not been helping. So
Mm-hmm.
it is possible for the kids to look at, like, why would I even want to go and play for a country that I don't know? The onus lies on the parents. Number one, to educate them. Number two, to reorientate them. And number three, to connect them to the roots. So by the time you do that, somebody will tell you that my mother used to tell me so many beautiful things about Nigeria before coming to Nigeria. Go and listen to Asha's account. He said the mom will call her and sit her down and then be telling her beautiful things about the homeland, Nigeria. By the time she made up her mind to come to Nigeria and to come and start to get signed with to musical label, she was excited. And the only thing the mother wondered about that, everything about Nigeria is fine. But you see, when you are talking about love, you guys be careful. She
We're
now said
talking
when
about
she
what?
got to love.
Okay.
She made a song about that now. If you are
Yeah, yeah,
conversant with
yeah.
us.
I
So
know. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly, you know that line. So and she said something. She said when she got to the country and she was like, okay, I'm bored. Let me find a bar to go and sit down. So she went to a bar, somewhere in Ireland, and then she was enjoying herself. And said she was gisting with the barman, and everything was flowing normally. The moment the barman got to know that, oh, this one just entered, he said he changed the style straight up. Everything began to be like a love language. And she was like, oh, my mom about a guy like this. You understand? So my point is this: number one, if you are praising Ademola Lukman and then taking the parents out of the equation, then we are not being sincere. He doesn't know anything about here. It's the parents. We should give the parent. And he said something. He said when he was having issue with his stamina, you understand? He said I got fit when my mother introduced fufu to me. The mom told him, say, okay, this apple thing, I will teach you how to eat it. And you will discover
Okay.
that you'll be fit more than the rest of your peers. And he said
Okay.
it worked for him. Because truly, as a young lad, as a gentleman, playing football, it was more like a struggling thing. He was struggling, sincerely. It wasn't spectacular. He was struggling. We have so many clubs in England that he had to like, okay, he tried in Everton on loan and he had to move from there till he found himself with where he is now. He's playing for Serie A. For they say he's a winger. He's playing for Serie A. That Serie A means Italy. He's playing in that country. They say it's Serie A. That's A. So that's where he plays now. But he's doing fantastically well now. But when he was, when he, as a young man, some are just whiz kids that they find their foot on time. Some will have to struggle. But he was part of the people that had to struggle before you could find his feet on the solid ground. So he did all that, and then to God be the glory, he's doing well now, and we can write the story about him. The take home of all this story is that he didn't forget his roots, and then the ancestors too, they helped him. At least the mother remembered the fufu. The fufu worked the wonders, and then not only that, he's still speaking the language. You understand? And then he could
Mm-hmm.
still appear in that attire and everything. That in fact, when I saw him appearing on the stage, I beckon on my son, please come and see. Come and see. You understand? Am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, but I can't see you. So said, come and see. I had to call him, beckon on him to come and see. Come and learn. Oh. So come and see this one who was born in abroad and is doing well and he's back home now. You understand? So that is it. That's just
Okay.
it.
I wanna I wanna bring up two things that you mentioned here.
Okay.
You talked about parents, and before that, you talked about parents being influential in him turning out like
Yeah,
that
parental
and still being
roles.
part
Yeah.
of, yes. But before that, you said that the media has a big role to play in this, and that people outside of the continent don't know the continent and have a lot of wrong ideas about the continent. For instance, even thinking that all the different countries are one place, and yeah. So who are we to blame for that? Who are we to blame for the fact that they have that idea? Is it the media?
Okay, which one should I start from?
The one about the media? Because
All right. All right.
yes,
So when we talk
or
about the
rather,
media,
or rather,
when we talk about the media,
yeah.
don't forget there's a story or that one of it was I think it was Sinua Shepe. I'm not sure, but I think he was the one that said, not until not until the lion can write we will always settle for the stories of the hunter. You
Mm.
understand? Whatever hunter, whenever he comes home, whatever he tells us is what we will run with. We didn't follow him to the bush. We didn't know what he encountered there. So if he comes home and tell us, I killed three-headed lion, we'll take the
Yes.
story like that. And if he says the lion is a weak animal, we have to take it like that.
So
But
you've answered.
what if the lion can write too? So what am I trying to say? In this world, the power dynamics of this world doesn't just work like that. I am not talking about the contemporary media of African countries. I am talking about the media of the globalist, the media. You know, when we are talking about the British, the American voice of VOA, whatever, what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
But
You understand?
yes. And while you're saying
So,
that, yeah.
okay,
Yes. So they have to give the information that they want to give, just like the hunter will give information that the hunter wants to give, right? So
absolutely.
can we then say that you cannot blame anybody? It's just like when we think about the elections in the US recently, or even during the Trump's administration, his last administration, when he came out saying that some media houses were carrying false information. So you go out there and you give the information that you want to give, to tell the story that you want to tell, to have the influence that you want to have, right? And so doesn't that mean therefore that if we want a story to be different, then you have to pick up your pen and write the story that you want to put out to the world?
Yeah, yeah. Even if you are looking at it from the media perspective or the figurative angle of picking up the pen and writing your own story, don't forget that the social media has created a leverage. You understand for us all. We are
Exactly.
able to talk about this now is because of social media. It's possible for the big guns to suppress such information. Okay, that's it. Don't talk about the attire. Don't talk about this language. And of course, they didn't talk about that. It is left for us to promote that. You get what I'm saying? So, so we do not have excuse now. We do not have any
Yes, you don't.
excuse.
Yes,
We
I
have
love
this.
that.
Yes, we
And
have this,
then,
and
yeah,
we have this has always been a sustenance of our culture, oral folks, oral information, mouth to ears. That has always been the folks that the story that we hear from our parents, our grandfather told them, but and then we still. So that's the same principle that can work out there. The father making them to be, or the parent making the kids to be interested in the things. The first thing is to arouse the interest of such a child. If you can get that, the other things will set in place. Let's
mm,
begin with the name. If you are giving birth to in diaspora, and they now give you names like Jonas, for instance. I don't think it's going to direct you. It's not a pointer. It's not an indicator to anything. Or if you are giving names like Nkechi, um, Uzo, giving them names like Chidi, Ayo and all the likes, and somebody will be like, okay, what does Shola means? What does Ayo mean? What's the name? You understand what I'm saying? By the time they ask, they're like, okay, where are you from? And then I've seen a name. Okay, one of my friends, his name is Kola Parkinson. The Parkinson happens to be his surname. I don't know how the father happens to he coined that name. I don't know, maybe back in Parkinson or at the back, So by the time this dude traveled, he met a man. The man looked at him, he looked at the name and said, there's only one Parkinson that I know, and that must be your father. He said, yes, out there. So I'm
but is
saying
Parkinson
name.
a local name? Is it one of our names?
No, I'm saying the man coined the name. I
Okay,
think the
okay,
name is backing. The name is backing.
okay.
I think he just had sin at the back. I think. And that's the name, that's how he bears that backing sin. You understand what I'm saying? No, what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to say how a name can be very powerful and can be an indicator or can be a pointer to our culture, to our identity, and to everything that we believe in. In fact, our spirituality too. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you talk about, take for instance now Yoruba, I would love you to check and go and check the concept of Yoruba. If you check Yoruba, they will tell you, you will see that they call it, apart from being a race, I mean, a race or a tribe, Yoruba is a religion. You
Oh
can
yeah,
check it. You can,
I
yes, you
didn't
can
know
take your
that.
time. Okay, now you know. Now you should verify my point. It is a religion. Every
While,
other
while,
thing,
while we're while we're on that, okay, you know what? Let me make a note. You're going to have to explain that to me sometime, please. Yoruba
okay,
is a religion. Interesting.
okay, yeah,
So does that apply to other tribes and other
no,
parts of? Do
no,
you know?
no, I don't.
Mm. You don't
Yeah,
know or no?
I do know
Okay,
because I
interesting.
take my time to
Okay, to
check that.
investigate that. Okay,
Yes,
that's very interesting.
yes.
I'd like to know more. All right. So yeah, that's a very good one. Thank you. Yeah, but even just giving your child a name, and you give your child give
It's an
that name,
identity.
it's an
It's an
identity.
identity. Yes, and it's a
Okay.
spiritual one too. It is very spiritual. You
What is
see,
it?
now giving your child Inumidu, Inumidu, for instance, Inumidu
Mm,
means I am happy.
mm.
You understand? I am using that now in this case. If that child is not making your Inu to be done, that is not making you happy, and you are calling Inumidu, whatever you are doing, you are still prophesying to that child. You will make me happy, either you like it or not. Right
Okay.
now, you may not be making me happy, but for so long you are still calling that child, come, beckoning on that child, you are still prophesying. And don't forget, vibration, frequency, words are powerful.
So you
And that's the
continue
essence
to
of our thing.
prophesy.
Exactly. Until you have, that's what I'm saying, there's a spiritual connection with almost everything that we
That's a
have in
very good one.
African
Oh,
villages.
that's a very good one. I must go and make that point under this video after after we're done. They have spiritual connotations,
Absolutely.
and we should take advantage of those, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Or rather, they are to our advantage. Okay. Well, I am learning. Thank you.
Yes. Take for instance now, don't forget, we got a, not only Ademola got the award, he got it for the first time anyway. That's this, happens to be the seventh, you understand? That happens to be the seventh Nigerian to get that award. You understand? And funny enough, I know that for a fact that is the only one that came out in full attire. And then out of the seven that we've talked about, the six were born and bred and buttered in this
In
country,
Nigeria.
in Nigeria. Did you get
Mm,
the drift now? If they are bred
yeah.
and buttered in Nigeria, and then they didn't know, of course, some of them didn't have the power of social media at that time. But don't forget, even the
When was the
person that
last
took it
one?
last,
When
the
was the
last
last
one,
one? Which year?
last year, is a yearly thing. The person that got it last year was Osimhen, Victor Osimhen. He wore suits.
Okay.
You understand? He wore suits. Victor
Okay.
Osimhen grew up in Olusosun, here in Lagos. Yeah. So I know that Victor Osimhen can speak Yoruba fluently. I don't know if he can speak his own language anyway, but he can speak Yoruba fluently. And then nothing is stopping him from appearing. He may not know, but I'm saying this is a pace setter. It's what somebody outside the country has done. You understand? He
I
wasn't
think
born here. So it's spectacular.
I
It's
think it's
something laudable.
it's probably a question of orientation, and your orientation comes from the things that you survived along the way, in your as you're growing up, right? Through your life, the things that have been hammered in or you've taken in as things that are priority. So now, because I can imagine me being in the position of the Victor Osimhen and doing exactly that. That will come from my mindset, and my mindset is as a result of things that I've experienced. and those things that I've experienced, how have they impacted my life? Was there
Mm,
anybody around to tell me
to
how?
influence your
Yes,
decision.
to
Yeah,
influence
that's
my
what I'm saying.
understanding.
You cannot write the influence of the parents off. You understand? You can't write it off. Look at now, like I told you about the story at some point that the mother was able to convince him that fufu will help your stature, will help your stamina. And he confirmed that. Absolutely. Now, this is where you know our parents know exactly what they are doing. How do I mean? Take for instance, you want to get married. You now decide to tell your mom that, okay, this is my traditional wedding. I'm putting on a suit. Will it happen? Not on African soil.
But
I don't know who you are. They
let's
will,
let
as at that time, you will see their full influence. Lie, nobody has done this. You see, I want you to wear this. You understand what I'm saying? They want to like, and you dare even not. You dare not.
when you no when you say our parents know what they're doing, nobody deliberately does anything to that will diminish it, right? So
No, what I was trying to say is that they know when to throw their weight
do
behind a
they?
particular problem. Well,
Do
yes,
they?
when it is what they believe in. Okay,
Yes.
take for instance, in traditional wedding, what do you expect? And then
Exactly.
let me even help you in our socio-cultural settings. Now, you as a person, I'm inviting you to a party. Are you with me? And I'm not even inviting you to a party. I'm inviting you to Owambe. Now, you know Yorubas with our party thing now. I'm inviting you to Owambe. You now decide to dress in suit. It's okay. They'll welcome you. You know, the Oyaya thing is always there. They'll welcome you. They'll give you nice seats. Now, me, as another woman, dressing up in gala and everything, the kind of respect that they will give me, they won't give you. That's not, they won't accord same respect. And then by the time they are serving, either they are giving me 4 meat, they give you 2 meat, or they give you 1 meat. Alakoweni, 1 meat is enough. Aha.
Okay.
That's on a lighter note anyway.
Yes.
But you get the
But these
drift,
are
right?
everything. Huh? Yeah. No.
You get the
I
drift.
Yes, I get that. But I'm just saying that even our parents do not always know what they're doing because, for instance, some some people deliberately don't want their children to speak the language, right? They insist that they speak English because, to start with, that's our own uh, that's our official language in Nigeria because we're colonized by the British. And then
And
we
then, sorry,
adopted English.
I'm sorry, which parent are we talking about? Should we take it like, okay? Are we talking about modern parent now?
Modern?
Yeah.
Who are the modern ones?
Okay. You are very correct. To be candid, let me not put ruffle your feather, but let's just go into it. You are very correct. To the extent that some parents will tell their kids that I don't want to talk about that God-forsaken continent. By the time you tell your kids in diaspora that way, I don't want to talk about that God-forsaken country. What are you telling that child? That that's hellfire. Don't go there.
Shouldn't we be a little lenient? Shouldn't we be lenient? Because, for instance, just like when somebody spoke recently about Nigeria and how bad things are, and people started going up, there was an uproar, this is not patriotic. Isn't it a fact? Like, that's why I said two things can exist at the same time. The fact that you're going to be patriotic, like Ademola, and say all those good things, represent your country and your roots, doesn't mean that when a parent says, if a parent makes that pronouncement, it's just that they're not being conscious of the effects. It's like a response, it's a reaction to maybe something that's happened to them. For instance, someone who travels home, you're not in the center of this. Look,
Okay.
you're not yet. For instance,
Okay.
someone who travels home, if I've been living here, like I am out here in North America, and then I go home, I go through all the borders here, I have no problems. And then when I get home, the customs start to make life difficult for me, where I even have everything right, and then they detain me for 2 days.
Okay.
for no reason. And they don't even
Mm,
tell me what it is. And then I need
okay.
to know someone, someone of influence to be able to get out of that place. So
Okay.
if you hear me talking to my child and I say something about the God-forsaken place, you can't blame me, right? Can you blame me?
Okay. Should I answer?
Answer.
Okay. The truth of the matter is this. I am an advocate of negotiation. I keep telling you that. I keep using that word. When you're
Mm,
talking of power, that's power dynamism. Now, we don't take any action or any inaction in isolation. We don't take action or any
mhm.
inaction in isolation. Have you heard about Rosa Parks?
Yeah.
Do you remember what she did?
Yes.
What did she do?
Sitting in the area of the bus that was reserved for
Refusing, refusing to leave when she
refusing to
was asked
move. Mm-hmm.
to move, when she was asked to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me he was the first person to do that? Think about that.
No,
It happens all the
what
time.
person to do that? Probably
To
not.
resist, or apparently not. Not probably. Apparently not. But don't forget, she was part of a movement already.
Mm, mm.
That is the power of
Okay.
dynamism and influence. What am I trying to say? Is that sometimes people rant all the time. People rant all the time. And one of the funniest things is the easiest thing to do is to criticize. It's so easy. Oh, things are not like this. It's so easy. But the truth of the matter is, that's what I'm saying. We are not going to take this matter in isolation. I know who you were trying to talk about. You were trying to talk about the video. Now,
Yes.
let's look at the video as a person.
You want to do that?
He
Okay,
was
let's end this one. Let's do that on a separate video. Can we
okay.
do it?
All right, but you mentioned it.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm actually interested.
I want to take it separately. Can I just let me
Okay.
send you something so that we
Okay.
can get on and
All
do
right.
this?
Back to the parents. Back to the parent that are saying that. Now, if you check statistics, records, the hazard, crisis, and social unrest, or let's just say the negativity, remove the economic power. Remove the economic power of where you are as against where I am. And then let's concentrate on human. Okay, look at it very well. What am I trying to say is that there's no place that doesn't have its negativity,
Mm-hmm.
its pros and cons. Why wouldn't that same person use that same energy to tell that child that this American that you are, that they kill with guns, that the police is ready to kill, police brutality, drugs, name all
All these
those social
well.
ills.
Mhm.
Use
People.
that to tell social you are not supposed to live in this country. Believe you me, if we have the same economic power that they have,
Mm.
how many Nigerians will be in that country?
Mm-hmm.
So that settles it. In fact, that's an indicator, the pointer to where I'm going to. If where you are now, despite the use of such a place, you are not ready to define it in a negative way, then you shouldn't do it to any place. That's what I'm saying. It's so easy to criticize. But one thing is, I mean, what are you doing about it? You know, this Faturoti, dealing Fatu, there's one lawyer now that's been, he's having a case as we speak.
Parroting, yeah.
Faturoti, activist, is a lawyer and everything. In fact, he was granted a bail of 30 million today, this
Today.
afternoon.
Mm.
30 million, look at that. But the truth of the matter, for everything that that man has said, it was spot on. But I'm saying they are taking it that far because of his influence and because of the fact that you are not, if that one is coming from a reporter, they will know that, okay, actually the reporter will want to, like, okay, must have done his investigative journalism. And when he's writing it, it's expected of a reporter to write it. And then the way they want to look at it, they will not attach the report. They know the report is being objective, but they will not attach it like, this is the work of our opposition. By the moment they say that's the work of our opposition, do you know what will happen? It distracts the people. They would simply put, PDP in action. The writer is working for PDP, and then people that have been reading with objective mind, like, oh, okay, it could be. And someone is like, they have been able to like throw little dust into whatever he has written. But this one is coming from a lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? An objective one for that matter. So his words carry weight. So they were afraid. Like he has said, you can't be your oppressor, you can't speak against your oppressor without expecting reaction. And don't always forget, when you hear about opera on social media, some of them are paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are paid for
Yeah.
instance.
Yes.
As a statement of factly, some of them are paid for. There are some people working for them. Most of these bloggers are on their payrolls.
I know. I know.
They control all that. So when you hear criticism from this, from that, from that, it's just a matter of okay, it's a latent hit. Okay, we pay for all this, we have them, we have them. Okay, we need your service now. Bam, it will now work the same time. Bam, 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 then you begin to write reports. Bam, bam, bam. Those ones that you know that they know how to write and they are jobless. That time you see their skills coming out, and they
I know.
put it
I
and
know.
then people will start. And
I know.
don't forget, we are living in a society whereby even the educated is not enlightened. Do you understand what I'm saying? The educated ones are not enlightened. So when they are not enlightened, some in quotes now, so they move with um the pace or the trendy news. For instance, should I tell you about this story? I'm sure you must have heard about it, about a minor that was jailed to is it to that was he was jailed anyway, and then I think was it to be killed or something? I think so. I should be yes,
Where?
yes, killed by hanging. Yes,
Where?
killed
Where?
by hanging
Where?
in Osun State.
Okay.
Now, do you know what the bloggers did? They started peddling such information. And what did the child do? He stole fowl, chicken in quotes. Now, he went to the poultry, he stole a chicken, and he was caught. And that's the account of the bloggers. And then they now said the lawyers, the judge, sentenced him to death. That's the news that they were peddling around. And then, to a logical being, that's not possible. No matter how rotten our judicial system is, it is not possible that many states, and in fact, we have a lot of people you have a lot of people in cells now or in jail that they have given death sentence that they're just there. In fact, it's only governor that can sign that, and it's only governor that can pardon them. They've not even signed them to go and be killed. They'll just be there. So why am I saying all this is by the time you look, I'm not saying people can be jailed, mind you, and I'm not saying people can be put in prison without facing jury. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying before you can say you are sentencing somebody to be killed. So when the bloggers were coming, I was telling people that it's not true. Do you know what happened? These guys were part of the armed robbers that have been terrorizing one region
Okay.
because some of them were farmers. They were
So
not attached to a village. They've been terrorizing them. And so, not only one person, they were caught. They killed the owner of the poultry. So he was caught.
okay,
You
I got
understand?
that.
With
I've got that.
and so you can't just and some people are spreading that that's how powerful communication can be,
Yeah. But
or the
let's go
media can
back
be.
to, okay, before we round
Okay,
up this conversation,
okay.
I want to go back to what we said about the parents and why they would speak like that about Nigeria and why they would not speak like that about where they are. Um, I think that we can give some grace. We can give some grace because the person that you're talking, there's nowhere you will go to in this world that you won't see something negative that you're not happy with, right? But a person who is living their life, and for instance, that thing that I just explained about having that kind of experience with the customs, I haven't had anything like that in where I am. I haven't had anything like that. In fact, if I want to apply for my passport here, it will be hassle free. It'll be hassle free. So many things that I want to do here will be hassle free. I want to open a bank account. I want to maybe my bank is even dormant for a while and I want to revive it, all those things will be hassle free. But if I want to do that in Nigeria, it may not be like that.
It's
So
not, it's not,
yeah,
sorry, it's not, it may not be like that. It's not going to be like that, except if
yeah.
you want to influence on certain things. Yes.
So my so
That,
so I
that,
think
that's the
if
fact.
so I think that we should give some grace to when people
No, you
talk
don't
about
understand.
that.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Now, let's put it in the proper perspective.
Hmm.
Nobody will tell them that it's wrong for them to say it the way it is. But when you're
Uh-huh.
saying it the way it is,
Uh,
be sure to talk about the pros and cons, to talk about the good and bad. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's what I
It is
wanted.
that,
That's what I wanted us to
yeah.
do.
So, it's so easy. That's what I'm saying. It's very, very, it's not, when people, okay, if I tell you this, it will be funny. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and then they were telling me very close to my estate about a lady that was she was at the point of entering a compound. We were opening the gate, and then she was blocked, and lo and behold, she was kidnapped. And then they took her away. They left her car. They took her away with her friend, and the kidnappers are requesting for 60 million. You understand? Here in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, within the space of 1 year, they said about 2.2 million people, 2.2 across the country, at one point or the other were being kidnapped. So it is alarming. It is crazy. They're not disputing that fact. You get what I'm saying? We're talking now, okay. Okay, I have light. It's not light, it's solar. I have solar. It's not many lights. You get
Okay.
what I'm saying?
I'm glad. I
Ah,
think I just wanted to, yeah.
so we should be able. No, the truth of the matter is this. Okay, now before you conclude, before we rush out of this studio, what I want to emphasize is this: if you, let's assume, God forbid, let's assume wherever, okay, let's assume, okay, there's a parent of Mr. and Mrs. Taiwo. They are living in, let's just say, they're living in somewhere in Asian continent or whatever, and decide to poison the heart of their kids. And Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is not whatever. That, as in successfully turning their backs to this country. Do you know that most of the people complaining, which is right, it's okay for you to complain. When there's war, let's assume that there's a crisis or war in such a country.
Mm-hmm.
The first country that will cross your mind will be where?
Mm-hmm. Home.
Home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get the drift now? Will be what?
Mm-hmm.
Home.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it okay? Okay, something is happening in China, for instance. I know they're in war and there's crisis, and then people are moving from China maybe to Japan and to this. You discover that they're like, no, whatever I've suffered in China, I'm not going to go to one Asia country. I'm going back home. Why do you have that reservation at the back of your heart that there's still a place called home? If there's a
Wherever
place
is
called
home.
home,
Home is always home.
if there's a place called home, then it's scriptural. They say, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, so that it shall be well with you. So there are some things. Yes, it's not right. We know that things are not working as expected, but
All right.
balance is the signature of God. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you for that. So let's go on and talk about Davido and Ademola as people are comparing them, talking about who is patriotic and who is not. Right? Thank you for being with me on this one. Okay.